everybody, and welcome. If you are watching the podcast, if you are listening to the podcast, welcome. If you are watching on Facebook, hello, hello. It's been a while. So great to be here today because we are talking about tweaking, testing, and triumphing over it all. And I know that running an online business is not easy. I know that it takes time. And I know that sometimes that time is frustrating when you don't know what you're doing. So as you're hopping on in, say hello. Let me know who's watching in the comments. If you are watching live, hashtag live. If you're watching the replay, hashtag replay. If you're listening on the podcast, it's great to have you here tuning in today. So in case you don't know me, my name is Meliss-Ep. I'm an online marketing strategist and business growth expert to coaches and healers. And today we are talking about tweaking. So what I wanted to do today was I want to see who's on. Hello, hello. What I wanted to do today was tell you guys about a client of mine that I had. So I had a client that came to me and she was not able to sign an online client for the life of her. She got referrals from past clients in her brick and mortar. She had neighbors and friends who knew what she did and sometimes would use her for her services. And she really didn't know people online. She had built all of her relationships offline. And so when she wanted to transition to the online world, she wanted to run her business virtually. She couldn't break through that online market. She didn't know what to do and she couldn't get a sale. So I'm sure you felt like this before sometimes when you're struggling to get clients and you don't know where to go to get them, or you're trying and you're doing all the right things that you think you should be doing and you still aren't making a sale. And I know, because I've been there, that this makes you feel like a failure. It might give you a case of imposter syndrome. It may make you feel like you're not good enough and you have some self-doubt. And it may really discourage you to the point where now your efforts that you're putting into growing your business are not as strong or powerful or energetically aligned as they would have been had you felt more confident. And so I wanted to bring this story to you guys today because what happened was I wanted to help my client feel confident. I wanted to help her realize that she could have a flowing stream of clients come through her door and to reiterate and have her recognize that her service is amazing. What she offered was absolutely amazing. And every one of her clients that came to her told her so. But because she wasn't able to sign clients online, she felt discouraged. So what we did when we worked together is first and foremost, we figured out who her target market is. This is always the very first thing that I suggest we do. This is what we do with all of my clients when we begin working together, is defining your target market. Now, if you've been in business a while, you've probably done this at least once and probably more than that. And you're like, oh, enough. This is where you have to begin when implementing a strategy, especially online. Because it's not just about getting a sale. It's about helping people. And it's about getting in front of the right people so that your efforts, your marketing efforts aren't going to waste. You're actually going towards a market that needs what you have to offer and you are the solution. So we put out a target market and we tested it and we ran marketing and we did organic reach and also a little bit of paid reach. And turns out she was not energetically aligned to the target market that she selected. Now, this happens so much more frequently than you'd think. I have a lot of clients who decide who their target market is, and then weeks go by of reaching out and they realize, you know what, that doesn't feel energetically aligned. So what they did is we went back and we went inside some soul searching. Who do you truly want to help? Who are your favorite clients that make you feel like you're sitting on a cloud? You just feel so comfortable and you really are in your element, in your zone of genius. And you just feel like these are the people that you want in your world. They are your vibe. They get your vibe. They're in your tribe. They really feel like home. And so that might take some time. So what we did is we revised the target market. We kept tweaking it and we tweaked it some more and we tweaked it some more until finally it clicked. It clicked to the point where she all of a sudden had like this aha moment, like the light bulb went off. And she was like, oh my gosh, this is it. It totally resonated. It totally resonated. And the reason why this is important is because a lot of this is the feminine energy of following your intuition. You can do all this strategy of I need to fill this out and I need to figure out who my target market is, but that might not be the whole picture. You have to combine the masculine and the feminine. You have to listen to your gut. You have to feel into it. And sometimes that takes time. So after we were able to tweak those things and we really figured out who was a perfect fit for her, it became a non-stop selling environment. It was one close after another close, after another close, another client, another client, another client. It was like on fire. It was so good. Why? Because she was energetically aligned with who she wanted to serve. And you can't serve a package to somebody when you don't feel in alignment with who that package is going to. There's a whole vibrational awareness here that needs to take place. So I'm sharing this story with you because I know a lot of you are in a stressful area. Maybe you don't have enough time to devote to your business. Maybe you don't have enough money to reinvest in the business. Maybe you're frustrated, spinning your wheels time and time again, and you're just stressed out with marketing. And so what I want to let you know and reiterate that you've heard probably a million times from me is that marketing is playing for the long game. You have to play for the long game. You can't just turn it on one day and go, boom, successful business or $10,000 months or millionaire or whatever that milestone is for you. That doesn't happen overnight. It happens by playing for the long game. And the beauty in playing for the long game is that you tweak things along the way. There's time involved in playing for the long game. If you give yourself 1 week, you're not playing for the long game, which means that you only have 1 week to test things. Sometimes things build on each other. Sometimes you tweak one thing and then it throws a lot of other little things out of kilter. And then you have to tweak those things, which knocks a few other things off. And it's all about balance. It's coming back to balance, the masculine energy with the feminine energy. It's tweaking something to the left and something else tweaking to the right. And that takes time. Also, where I am in my business, 6+ years into this business, is nowhere close to where I was, even in my first or second year of business. And the following that I've grown over all my platforms and the people who listen to my podcast and all my social media stuff, that took time to grow. I wouldn't have been able to have as many followers as I do now in year 1 of my business because a few trickle in over time. So playing for the long game allows for 2 things: time to build, time to create, time to allow for things to sit in, and also the ability for you to tweak things along the way and test them. So I want you to remember to trust this process, to refine this process as you're going through it. And the last little lesson, the last little golden information piece, I don't like the word nugget, so I'm trying to experiment, maybe gem. The last little gem that you can get out of this story with my client is that defining your target market is not a one and done thing. So if you've defined your target market before and you are still not making the sales that you want or the income consistently that you want in your business, maybe it's time to go back to that. Go back to the basics. That is your foundation. And when you can do that, you are then able to really reach out to who it is you want to reach out to. Because when you say, I know who my target market is, and I've already done this, and I'm done with my client avatars, and I know who my dream client is, and I'm just done, you're actually shutting yourself off from growth, from tweaking, from testing, and from overall triumphing, right? To have some triumph, success in your business. So the way that I want you to think about this is that you can come back and revisit who your target market is every 3 months. I do this every quarter in my business. I go back and I revisit who it is because every time I do it, something changes. Because as I evolve as a business owner, so does my business. So does my target market. So does the language that I use and my messaging for who I'm reaching. So does what I refer to myself as. This is always changing because I am a work in progress. So is my business because I'm building a personal brand. My business is me. There is a connection there. So when I change and evolve as a person and I have some self-development, I'm also going to have some business development. And so that all goes back to our target market. As you evolve, your target market evolves. And you know what's really interesting for most of us in the service-based business industry and building a personal brand, your target market is who you used to be. So as you grow and evolve, your target market may also grow and evolve too. So if your target market is like 3 steps behind you, for example, and you're growing 3 steps forward, your target market might grow 3 steps forward. Not necessarily, but possibly. So it's always good to revisit this. So I hope that this helps you. I hope this makes a lot of sense. And I would be interested to know who your target market is and has that changed over time. All right, I'll talk to you soon. Bye.